Hello, just wanted to share a quick exercise we did in class to bring in mechanical skills, specifically grammar, as well as model. So I start with this funny joke about the importance of commas, and then I took this from Keys for Writers, asking students to think about what's the difference between sentence one and sentence two. Again, just to think about the intentionality of punctuation, the deliberacy behind punctuation, and how it can change meaning. The key of this exercise is extracting sentences from students' work anonymously. It's something that I found to be useful and effective, and they know that it's, as long as they know that it's for the learning and it's anonymous. And so we looked at a couple of these sentences. The first one we looked at was, I envied the pouring rain, comma, because I wanted to let go of the hurricane of emotions churning inside me. Give the student credit for what they're trying to do in the sentence, the emotion, the metaphor, the vivid verb here, churning, so give them the plaudits, but then point and then ask them to identify what the issue here is, and they'll probably find that this comma is misplaced. So that's the technical bit, but then it's really interesting to copy and paste the sentence and see what other life it might take. Right, so here's the original sentence over here, and then doing a think aloud about how, what would happen if you change the punctuation to this. Murray had a great point about, instead of saying to let go of 4 words, what's the verb that's hidden in there? So this is part of the parametric method, right? So we came up with as a class, perhaps release is what you want to say. So finding the verb that's hiding there is a way to make your sentences more concise. But also just, I think students notice that, and this is also part of the parametric method, there's just a bunch of prepositions here. I wanted to let go of the hurricane, of the emotions turning inside of me. As soon as the student reads that out loud and finds all the prepositions, they can trim, right? So here's the sentence that we came up with, or the 2 sentences we came up with, and maybe turning it into emotional hurricane instead of hurricane of emotions. So just visualizing the different lives a sentence can take, and thinking out loud with students and inviting their views on sentences, I think is quite effective. The next sentence that we looked at was, over the course of this academic year, I've come to realize that fear, comma, is contagious. So hopefully they'll realize that comma is misplaced, it is wrong, but then the sentence is also rich because you'll notice that there is a mixed metaphor here, right? Fear is contagious, and it's also a god. And so does the logic make sense? Murray made this point that there has to be a clear logic framework for the metaphor. So is God a contagious thing? And so then you can have, you have a conversation about what is the apt metaphor, and if the idea of contagious is important, then you'd need a noun that suggests contagion, and the verb needs to follow through as well. So you can see different ways in which we try to revise the sentence there. But the purpose overall is, I think, really visualizing the sentences on the board, editing them in real time, and having multiple voices think about and the different ways the sentences can be constructed is quite useful.